Hello, everybody. I have something really exciting to talk to you about today. So, two things. First thing is I want to talk about this timeline of Noah, connecting days of Noah to the time that we're in now. And then the second thing is, I think even more exciting. I want to talk about preparing for the future. Kerr mentioned a long time ago that the wealth of the wicked is going to be transferred to us through one of the ways it was going to get transferred. There's going to be many ways, but one of them is going to be through the marketplace by, you know, making goods or providing a service that these wicked people will want, and they're going to give you the money in exchange for this product or service that you're going to provide. That's going to be, amazing and out of this world. So I want to talk about that and how to prepare for that. It's going to be really good. So just stick around for that. So the first things first is this. So the timeline that I talked about, days of Noah, how God told Noah that it's gonna rain. Then 120 days later, 120 years later, the rain came. Then after the rain and the flood came, there were 40 days and 40 nights of just massive flood. Then after that period, it took a long time for the flood and the water to dry up. Probably close to a year for all of that water just to dry up. So, and so this is what's happening now. So, and she also, if you remember 2 months ago or so, Kat Kerr and her sister were talking about all these earthquakes that are happening. But here's something interesting. So, this is the earthquake volcanodiscovery.com. They track earthquakes and volcanic activity throughout the planet. And on March 1st, 2020, we had a moderate amount of volcanic seismic activity, moderate. Only 609 earthquakes, quakes happened in that one day. Now, check this out. On March 2nd, we had same thing. We had a moderate amount of earthquakes, only almost 500, 496. Then coming to March 3rd, so this is according to my timeline, this is basically on this day or at the end of this day is what I predicted to be start of the flood or of the landslide that Shakakura talks about. So here it is, March 3rd, and we have 694, an increase of 100, and we're still green. This is still considered moderate. Now let's go to March 4th. This is like the very first day and night of the flood or the earthquake. And we have very, very high. So this is how the first day started. We had 844 quakes. 2 of them were pretty large. 7 were somewhat okay, and then 30, 119, and then boom, boom, boom. We're going lower and lower. So 844. So that's how March 4th, the first day and first night. And then moving into March 5th, we have we're in yellow. We're not green and we're not red. We're still about 883. We had one big one and then some of the little ones. So basically, the Earth is somewhat responding to what's happening. Then we're still high. Let's see. This is what day is this? This is March 6th, and then March 7th. This is where we are at today. We're moderate green, but we had 950, and today is not even over. So today right now is March 7th, 8:38 p.m. my time, and we're at almost 1,000 quakes. And it's so I'm predicting that we're gonna have a high quake count through this 40-day and 40-night period that we're in. We'll see what happens with the government situation. I've been trying to just keep my head down and trusting God. I try to every day just say, God, I trust you. My trust is in you. No matter what I see, no matter what I hear, no matter what's going on around me, God, I trust you. So here's the timeline. So far, things are moving. I have not heard any big news about any court cases or anything related to fraud yet. I'm sure things are working in the background. I'm going to continue to trust No matter what I see, I'm just gonna do it. All right. So the other thing I wanted to talk about, and also, so I want to talk about that. So one of the things you can do to prepare for. Let me minimum. One of the things you can do to prepare for um, this time that we're coming to, where the wealth of the wicked is going to get transferred over to the just, is you need to learn how to be a good boss, how to be a righteous boss, how to be a boss with full of wisdom and understanding, how to be a boss that cares, how to be a boss that can sympathize with his or her employees and relate to them and see what they're going through, see their strengths, see their weaknesses. And one of the ways you can be a better boss is, a lot of times these companies, they will create this job. And just for example, the job is, I want somebody to put together an iPhone. I want somebody to install the battery. I want another person to install the little circuit board. I want another person to install the camera. And they create these jobs for these people. So they create these jobs, and then they find people for that job. Well, a good boss, if you're a really good boss, you don't do that. What you do is, you kind of have a basic understanding of what needs to be done. Then you find the person that can do that job. You bring him in, and then you take a job and you base the job around your star employee, because the star employee, you want to keep those people around, and you don't want to you want to empower them as much as you can. And one of the ways to empower them is to let them do the job how they want to do it. They're smart, they know what needs to be done, and they want some independence from you. But I mean, of course, you got to make sure that they're doing it right. But they a lot of times, like, you can tell them how to do a job, but you have to empower them. People say, there's a studies, I don't remember exactly, but people feel a lot better and has a better work environment when they feel empowered, where they feel like their hands aren't tied from doing certain things that they feel like are necessary to do their job. A lot of times there's a lot of red tape, and there's certain things that you can and can't do. But if you have these star employees, these star people that you want to keep, you don't want them to quit. You don't want them to be fished out by other companies and they steal some of your sheep and they go elsewhere because it's a better work environment or they offer more money. But one of the ways you can keep good people is to mold the job around them instead of having them mold around your job. So I just want to encourage you that. So if you're a boss, to kind of start thinking about that, or if you want to be a boss, kind of start thinking about that. And one of your other responsibilities is to, as a boss, you need to motivate people. You need to get them to be excited about coming into work. I'm excited I'm getting to work with, Janice or whatever your name is. If an employee comes to work, they need to be excited because you're there, because they know that they can trust you. They know that you will understand them. They know that you will sympathize with them. Like if you have a mom with kids, and sometimes kids get sick, and sometimes kids get, you're getting ready to leave for work, and you're looking around, your keys are missing, and then you find your kids playing with your keys, and so things like that happen, and you need to be very understanding, and you can't always be barking at your employees all the time, because if you put yourself in those shoes, you would not appreciate it either. And God wants us to be kind at all times. He wants us to lead people and empower people righteously and with wisdom. And something that I've learned is to always ask questions before making any decision. So if you have somebody comes in late, or whatever, that does something that they're not supposed to do, instead of right away just barking at them and try to correct them, ask questions. You know what Jesus did? Jesus asked so many questions to his disciples. Every single time he would ask them a question, because he knew He knew how to get their attention. You get people's attention by asking a question, and depending upon their response, uh, you can approach a situation a different way. So one of the things kind of happened to me somewhat like this. Well, we had I used to work at this restaurant before I got my accounting job, and I was an assistant manager or something. I was assistant manager there at the time, and we had this young lady come in late, and of course I was a young assistant manager. I was fired up, I was ready to do my job, and I started, basically, I wasn't too smart. I just try to get ahead of myself and be, try to correct this lady, and I found out that somebody died in her family, and here I was without asking any questions, without giving her any opportunity to explain herself. I jumped to conclusions and started to correct her and threaten her and whatever, and it was not appreciated. Now I was clearly wrong, and I had to apologize because that wasn't the right thing to do. And I encourage you guys to ask a lot of questions and learn to ask the right questions too. There's they say there's no stupid questions, but you don't want to you don't want to go towards that side. You want to just be very mindful of other people. Other people matter. Bible says we're supposed to put others before ourselves. All right, I'm gonna leave you there. I'm gonna leave you guys with that. Begin to prepare yourself to be a good boss, and ask God to highlight the areas in your life where you need to improve. And being a boss is not for everybody. Um, maybe your talents are to be, you know, like assistant manager, where you're not actually the one making big decisions, but you're able to, carry out some tasks and work alongside you know, a stronger manager than you, or supervisor, leader, whatever the job title is. Okay, well, you guys have a blessed week. Thank you so much for watching.